Stunt driving penalties in Ontario, the MUMS Act. It just made it much harder, and here are the facts. As of June 3rd, 2021, the Moving Ontarians More Safely, the MUMS Act, just got the Royal Assent in the legislature and became law. The schedule amends the Highway Traffic Act, specifically section 172.1, which deals with stunt driving and racing charges in Ontario, and this act is now amended with respect to racing motor vehicles on highways and includes the following amendments. More specifically, this changes the following two sections. One, subsection 172.2 is now amended to require a mandatory license suspension if you are convicted of an offense under subsection 172.1. Two, section 172 is also amended to change the duration of the administrative impoundment of a vehicle from 7 days to 14 days and change the duration of a license suspension from 7 days to 30 days. So now let's take a closer look in plain English. Roadside license suspension. When you were pulled over at the roadside by the officer issuing a stunt driving ticket or summons, prior to June 3rd, you would get an automatic 7-day license suspension. This means that you would have to organize a ride from where you were pulled over, and you cannot operate a motor vehicle for a period of 7 days. Under the new MUMS Act, the 7-day license suspension is now increased to a massive 30-day license suspension. This means that for 30 days after receiving the ticket, you are not permitted to operate a motor vehicle. In fact, if you are caught operating a motor vehicle during this 30-day administrative suspension, you can then be charged with another serious offense, driving while under suspension, which carries a further 6-month license suspension, fines, potential jail time, etc., etc. Vehicle impound. Prior to June 3rd, 2021, once issued, the stunt or racing charge at the roadside, along with this license suspension, your vehicle would be towed and impounded for 7 days. Well, now with the new MUMS Act, this has now increased to 14 days. This means that you will have to arrange to have your car picked up from impound and pay 14-day fees to that tow yard. Even more difficult is that your license, which is going to be suspended for 30 days, so you won't even be able to drive to the vehicle impoundment and drive it back home within those 14 days. You will need the assistance of someone with a valid driver's license. Otherwise, again, you run the risk of leaving the car and having to pay a 30-day impound fee, which could cost thousands and thousands of dollars. Let's look at the mandatory minimum license suspension on sentencing. Prior to June 3rd, 2021, license suspension ranged from 0 to 2 years. And this was at the discretion of the prosecutor and the justice of the peace. So it was possible to get a stunt conviction with a minimum fine and no license suspension. Well, now this has changed. The MUMS Act now includes a mandatory minimum suspension for a first offense of 1 to 3 years. Yes, that means that upon conviction of stunt driving or racing, you will get a mandatory minimum of 365 days of license suspension. In fact, it could go as high as 3 years, where you cannot operate a motor vehicle in Ontario. So what do I do next? Well, the most important thing to do now is get legal advice. The penalties are now so harsh that it puts stunt driving charges on a similar playing field as a criminal DUI charge, because losing your license for a year can mean no ability to work or take care of your family. So the days of hiring a local legal representative for affordable traffic offenses, those days are over. You need a law firm. You need a law firm that will treat this as seriously as a DUI. Your license is on the line, and you need the best defense possible.